What a fantastic shot.
Woo! Howd loves it. I love it.
Let's see that smile now. Kristen Tatar, your champion of the Des Moines Challenge.
Two-time FPO champion, Kristen Tatar. Taking down her first DGPT Elite Series event, Emily Weatherman.
Hello and welcome to the front nine of round one of the 2025 Discmania Challenge presented by TrueBank. It's our 9th stop of the year. We're halfway through. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Sofia Donnecke.
Oh, wow. Our other hot goose flew over to Europe early, so we got one hot goose. Are you Canadian goose, maybe?
The Canada goose.
Yeah,
right here.
I think that's about right. So we're happy to call the shots today at Pickard Park. Before we get into it, we have our third Tour Series disc for JomezPro partnering with Discmania. We got a PD here, Metal Flake Horizon C-Line PD. It's a dependable fairway driver, plenty of high speed, stability, control, fade. You got everything you want. It's a great way to support the channel and help us keep making content for you guys. So please go check it out at JomezPro.com. Hole 1 is a massive change from previous years. We used to go from that short tee pad, now a par 5, a double mandatory. That can come into play if you're not careful. You want to get past the 2 trees. It's possible to eagle on the second shot, but you can tell they took in the out of bounds area on the right and added a giant hazard area. So I don't think we're going to see a ton of people attacking super hard, especially on day one. There's a layup area on the left, and then you just go over the hazard on your third to try to get the birdie.
Rebecca's shot pulling right, but she's safe. That's nice and close. She could go across, but I'm probably going to guess she's going up straight. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the smart play, I think, for especially the opener of the tournament. I think this one's going to play hard today, and that's a great shot.
Yeah, so this is chase card. So that's a great layup spot, and then the basket's maybe 200 feet up from there.
Yeah, it feels a little bit farther, I think, with the hill and the low ceiling. She's going to be a little trapped in that, the starter called it like a hobbit hill over there. Oh, great putt to get things going. This used to be kind of a gimme birdie par 4, so this is a very significant change this year.
First in the tee box, your 2024 DGPT DMC winner, a member since 2018 from Abilene, Texas, Emily Weatherman.
Emily making history last year. She's the only chase card winner we've ever had in FPO. She won by 3 strokes.
Yeah, that was a pretty phenomenal win last year. Getting caught up in that center tree, but rolls out into the open. She should be able to have a nice little open shot to the layup zone from there.
Since 2015 from Huntsville, Alabama, Cadence Burge.
Cadence having a phenomenal season this year.
Yeah, no kidding. Coming off a second place at U.S. Women's, we are seeing her all over the place. I think, she's had 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s this year? Wait, that's like all of them. And a smooth shot as long as it fades. Should be a little caught up.
Yeah.
Next to tee off, a PDGA member since 2020.
It's not too windy,
Seattle,
but there's a bit of a breeze.
Ella Hansen.
Ella, no stranger to any kind of coverage, any kind of big shots. Always fun to watch. I think you still can birdie if you get caught up on that first line of trees. But ideally, yeah, you're past him like Ella is. That's a solid first shot.
And
Yeah.
your final tee off for the FPO field. A PDGA member since 2020 from Grapevine, Texas, Holyn Handley.
Holland's the first in Pro Tour standings right now, playing so consistently, having a fantastic year. This is the coolest day that we've had at practice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, is she gonna split that
Oh,
gap?
okay. I thought I was gonna go through there.
It's been so hot and humid in practice. Really brutal weather. It's about 10 degrees cooler than it has been, and not too bad of a wind. This one was kind of a headwind, maybe right to left. And they did give us a nice big inbounds area for this layup shot.
Yeah, it does have a pinch point,
Mm-hmm.
and then it gets wide again. So you kind of have to choose whether you're going up to where those people are standing or where Emily's throwing here. Is Holyn going across?
I'm thinking about if anyone is.
She's going to the farther away landing zone, I think.
It's a little
Oh, dear.
risky looking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right into the out of bounds area. So the white stakes, of course, just normal out of bounds, and then there's a yellow square out there that's hazard. I think Ellis, is she thinking about? No. No.
No.
She's going shorter layup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this as a par 5. I think it's a good change, but I wish the hazard was about 30 to 50 feet shorter. Like, I think we should incentivize going for the eagle here. It's not quite as fun to watch the layup birdie.
I agree.
That was a fun shot, though. Emily
Yeah.
Weatherman, what, just out inside the circle? Circle's edge.
Yep.
Yeah, Sofia, see that little tree?
Mhm.
That used to be inbounds.
What?
Yeah, so, like, they've really pushed the
That's
OB
insane.
and added the hazard. And a great upshot from Ella. The forehand's going to play well at this course.
Yeah, especially on this because you got that huge tree with a giant canopy. So the backhand, you got to be coming in straight or a little bit on the turn. If you have that flick, it's just going to hyzer right in. But it is a good distance to cross.
Yeah, this, I don't know, how far do you think Cadence is here? 300? Maybe a
Yeah,
little
around
less.
there. Maybe a bit less, but it's uphill and you see the canopy. Like that's
Yeah, classic.
pretty common there
I think she,
from what I've seen.
yes, very much. If you're never getting through there, it always just drops you. Although I think Cadence dropped safe, which is nice. Holyn also working the sidearm, leaving it really wide here, looking for the fade. Lovely.
Well done.
Sofia, this is your first time at Pickard Park. What do you think of the course?
It is. I took 2 OBs on hole 1 today. I hit the looks like Cadence might not be in. Well,
I think she's just putting from the hazard, but did land. I can't tell.
okay. Basically, I hit the canopy like Cadence, and mine was like tiny bit OB, but it crossed in luckily.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna play pretty dang hard today.
It made me wish I just went for it on my
Yeah,
first, but
right. What a putt from Emily to get a birdie first thing.
Starting off strong.
Yeah, it looks like this played a full half stroke over par.
Yeah.
Pretty third most difficult on the day, and this used to be the easiest starting hole on tour, maybe.
Wow.
Like, you could mess it up, I guess, but pretty much everyone could reach it for a birdie. Our feature card doing a solid job here. There were 8 birdies on the day. And there's all those 8 birdies.
Yeah. All right, moving on to hole number 2. It's a par 4, big Daniel shot off the tee. There's OB, as you can see. You want to land right where those trees are, and then you have an uphill approach. There's a slanted slope to this fairway, so your disc can get sucked left. And with the wind, you really have to throw it nice and flat and pick the right distance shot to get up here.
This is one. Are you thinking about birdieing this one?
Oh, yeah.
This is one I think middle of the field has a little bit harder time reaching. I think you kind of need that next little bit level of power to at least get inside the circle. I think getting in the circle 2 is pretty reasonable, but it's quite a rip, and I feel like you do have to push that tree line, like you said. Emily with a great safe shot, but that's now a huge shot to get to the pin.
Yeah, so the farther up you land, the less uphill your next shot is going to be, and I think that's a huge advantage. So let's see where Ella goes. There is danger.
Ooh,
That's a mean little bounce out. But there is a pretty real danger of going OB long, straight. So you want to get something moving left, but also good distance. Let's see if Holyn can get past the trees.
It was a right to left wind when I came through, so kind of a nice one for this hole to help push you left. Holyn gonna be pretty pinned up there. It is kind of an interesting shot. I feel like we don't often have to throw a hyzer that fades at a specific point with like danger deep like this. Should be simple, but still kind of hard to find the perfect landing zone. That's good, but not perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be about, 50 feet to the right of where she is, so you're not dealing with these trees.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty uphill run up, pretty uphill shot.
Ella from the drop zone going forehand. Not something you're going to see from maybe anybody else. That's wild.
It's like she's, at the edge of the circle from the drop zone. That's a massive
That's
sidearm.
so far. I wish we had a distance on that. I mean, that's got to be a 350-foot sidearm. Uphill.
It'll play much longer with the hill.
Yeah.
Emily kind of getting sucked left there. But she'll have a run.
Yeah, it kind of happens with that right to left slope. Holyn also working a nice flexing forehand. Wow, so powerful.
The
both of
bullseye
them.
from down there.
Yeah.
Two of the best sidearms on the FPO side.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're pushing the boundaries of what we know about the sidearm, I think. Cadence, just a little chip backhand. And that'll be fine for a par. This one played fairly hard today, like a quarter stroke over par, it looks like.
Yeah, 6th most difficult hole. And then
Emily silhouetted against the Iowa sky. We've had a lot of storms in practice, and some weather, some lightning and some flooding out there. So a little bit of slippery conditions on some of the lower holes, but so far so good.
And Holyn for birdie here. Only 2 birdies on the day, Holyn and Cap Murch. Hopefully we'll see some more over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, such a good one. Ella able to get there from the drop zone, but not able to save her par.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see a couple more, but it's one of those that we never see that many on, I think. We've only 8 players landed even in Circle 2 and 3 in Circle 1.
Wow.
3 very opened up this year, which is funny as we fly through this narrow cap. It's a par 3, 320 feet. There used to be a couple trees right here in this ditch that really blocked, especially the backhand shot. I've always loved a flip up forehand through here. I think it plays like really nice and safe. You don't have to turn your back to the gap, but the backhand of course works a little turnover. You got to be careful. The right side OB can come into play very, very quickly, and especially without so much stuff in the middle, you can find the right side even earlier. I'm gonna work the flexing forehand more than the flip up, and that's gonna put her just outside the circle.
Within own range for sure.
Yeah, she lives here, man. This is her house.
Oh yeah.
Great putt.
This is a hard hole to park.
Very much so. Kind of that classic, like the backhand will probably get you to park it, but the forehand will get you a putt. But yeah, I just don't like turning my back to this gap, and that's in danger.
It's a little early.
Usually there's a row of bushes here that kind of catches any of those errant forehand shots. It's usually pretty tough to go all the way to that right side water. The spotter on this hole just has his own personal... Oof. Ouch. That's going to be really tough to scramble from for Emily. Yeah, he just has his own personal ace bounty. Like,
really?
Yeah, non-tournament sponsored. So if anyone gets
awesome.
it, I don't know how much it is, but that guy's paying up.
There's that backhand executed. If it gets through.
Wow. Pretty drifting shot there from Cadence.
That's incredible.
Man, she's just throwing such good shots all of the time. That one was her Neo Function. Ella gonna get caught up somewhere deep circle 2, I believe.
Looks like it.
And this can be such a nightmare. She's just gonna pitch up, and it's still a difficult shot to get a look for a bogey save.
Yeah, from here you're thinking like hopefully I can get a 4.
Mm-hmm. And that's still going to be a really long look for Emily's 4.
Looks like circle 2, but yeah, it's... You really want to get through that gap off the tee, basically.
Mm-hmm. Ella, long birdie look from about 43 feet, we're going to call it. She's going straddle stepper. Sit down.
Did that roll?
It did, but it looks like it's safe.
Okay.
Emily, almost to the circle. Looking at a double, and that hurts out here.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these holes are very fair for par. I do think they keep making this course harder and harder. I think only 4 holes played under par today, and conditions were pretty good, and this used to be a little bit more of a birdie fest. But yeah, you want to obviously avoid doubles at all costs. Try to just keep them to singles and get your birdies where you can.
All right, that's good par putt right there.
That's clutch. That's a confidence building
You're
putt.
not really thinking about rollaways because the grass is pretty long. But
Yeah.
when they happen, it's not very nice.
Yeah, at least that one checked up.
Mm-hmm.
And Cadence,
Wow.
after that great drive with the birdie, this is her first time playing here.
Wow.
Holyn with the single. Yeah, I think even par is always going to play good for FPO, but I was thinking like 5 down would be like lead card for sure, but maybe not the lead. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. Cat March so far, the only one 2 under through 3.
Wow. All right, we're on to hole 4, one of the iconic holes on the course. It's downhill, 431 feet, a little bit of a water carry, and you basically choose how aggressive you want to go. A lot of us, I'm trying to land to that big tree to the left of the basket, but there is a big safe zone if you don't want to get as aggressive. It's a fun shot though, without too much crazy wind.
Without too much wind, it's funny. It's fun to see people get aggressive on it. It's funnier when they miss, just go straight in the water.
Just laughing at them?
Just laughing at them, suckers. I play this one. A lot of people do play this one pretty safe for par. But it's always cool to see that kind of like pushing straight shot right at the pin and see people get a look at it. Ella's definitely thinking about it. Look at her.
Oh yeah, she's
written all over her face.
That's aggressive.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
It wasn't funny. I just feel bad.
Oh.
And there is a drop zone. It's a putt, which is nice. I mean, it's a death putt straight at the water from, 45, 50, something like that? Maybe a little. Actually, it's closer.
Yeah.
Circle 2 putt, though.
Holyn playing safer.
Yeah. And that's the better play, more direct. I think
Just outside C2. The big tree is in the circle, so it's actually like
a great aiming point.
Yeah.
Emily, just a teeny bit aggressive over the water, but to a perfect spot. That's the MPO drop zone.
Yes.
This one never really sees more than a couple birdies on it. And Ella going from the wrong drop zone here, but calling a provisional first. Not really sure what the provisional was for. Maybe if she thought her disc came in or touched, or I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, because the FPO drop zone is back there. You can see it just behind the tree.
Yeah, those two red stakes near that Zuka flag over there.
Oh.
Oh, wow. What a run.
Yeah.
Double check. Is that what
Okay, here we go.
That's my guess. I thought misplay was only for to tap out one hole.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, we're sure that's not our drop zone.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for some reason we have.
It would be awesome if we could, like, make that sign. I mean, I called provisional, but I didn't call provisional for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, yeah, it was a provisional that you were gonna go from the correct drop zone. I would think. But I don't.
I would think so too.
That's just mine.
It was the original shot was out. Yeah. So the provisional wash was right. And that now becomes
It should just be the one practice round that you're supposed to do.
So, to sum all that up, Christine Jennings on the card as a marshal. Ella didn't see her disc and didn't know it was out, then did that drop zone because she thought it might be out. So it was technically a misplay playing from the incorrect drop zone, costing her an additional stroke to the out-of-bounds stroke. So now putting for 5, and this isn't an easy one. Ugh.
Okay.
And this is tough, man. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how she plays after this, because that one can really get to you. Triple bogey out here.
Yeah, not a lot of score separation on this hole. It played 3.07 and 93% of the field taking a par.
Boring.
I know.
We'll see a couple more birdies, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
honestly not too many. There's only ever a couple every year. And it looks like Taylor Chosek was the only birdie of the day.
Let's go, Tay.
Yeah, it's a good one. Did she
I saw
birdie
her-
it in your doubles round?
No, oh my gosh, she yeeted it right, never crossed. Like, pretty close to the MPO basket, but in the water.
Yeah.
I think she got it back. She went swimming.
Hole 5, the island hole with the spectators that call themselves the Hive. It's very bee-themed. It's very cute. I love it. It's a good crowd to come here, and they all get hyped as you attack this pretty small island. The out-of-bounds area on the left and short are right around circle's edge. I think short's only about 25 feet. There's an OB line in the woods deep and right as well, but it's a little harder to find. It was kind of a tough wind today. It was a right to left crosswind.
Hole 5, Pickard Park Gold. We hope the course hasn't stung too much to this point. Good luck the rest of the way, ladies. The bees really thank you for coming. Let's go!
I love the energy when I walked up to this for the first time today.
Fun, right?
Yeah.
And it just gets bigger and bigger as the weekend goes on, and you can hear them across the course.
The Hive is growing.
And that's a nice looking shot. Wow. There is an ace bounty on the hole. Official Geico sponsored ace bounty, not just the guy on 3.
Wow.
There is a drop zone that's really far, I think almost outside circle 2. We'll call it 70 feet if you miss. Settle.
Oh. Shoot.
Hey. You see everything from mid-ranges to even drivers on this hole. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with. Wow.
Oh.
Gorgeous
Ends it.
shot.
You love it.
Yeah, it's a good get from Emily. Let's see. She threw her Halo Star Leopard 3. Nice. And, yeah, Ella going putter, below P2. I don't think there's a ton of people going putter. I think it's usually at least a mid. And yeah, this drop zone's so far. Also, I found out really consequential if you hit the base and then just roll back into the water.
Today you did?
Yeah, I didn't really think about like the consequences of running it. Oh, sweet putt from Cadence.
Oh, wow.
Keeping it clean, 2 down now.
Yeah, and she had an ace run drive.
Yeah, pretty sick. She's not thinking about consequences.
Mm-mm.
She's thinking about what's cool. And a great bounce back from Ella.
Yeah, unfazed. This hole had a good spread. I mean,
Whoa. It didn't even average under par, though.
wow.
That's crazy.
37% bogeys, 37% birdies, and
Huh.
then the rest pars and worse.
That's a cool stat.
Yeah.
37-37. It's a good hole. I think everyone really likes it. It's a very fair island.
Yeah.
19 OBs on it, though.
What?
Woof. 2 were mine.
All right.
So.
2?
Yeah, because it rolled from the drop zone.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't my fault.
You're doing your
Do
part.
the whole now.
Okay, fine. We're on hole 6. It's the long, beautiful fairway, slanting left to right, downhill. OB on the left side. You want to, on your second shot, kind of hyzer out after that last tuff, which is at the edge of circle 2. The basket is tucked in a good way, so if your drive could be more left, you get more room to have that upshot go in there. I like this hole.
I do too. I think it's super fair. I think it's a really good one for a backhand followed by a forehand shot if you have it. The backhand can work on the upshot, particularly if you have a massive drive over to the left, but I like that it kind of challenges the forehand skill set.
Yeah.
Rebecca Dawn after birdieing hole 1.
Wow, this is showing us the backhand.
And that's such a difficult drifting shot that
Holy.
she's attempting here. So well done.
Yeah, I learned a sidearm, so I don't have to do that.
Smart.
Amazing. Yeah.
Clunk it in there for another birdie. Yeah, that is one of the hardest backhands on the course. That upshot. This one, yeah, definitely want to land to the left, kind of pushing that OB. In previous years, we've kind of seen people almost break this hole just by getting so much distance that they can pretty much see the pin and then throw a straight backhand instead of that turning one. So.
Yeah, it is a bit downhill, so if you get something going just right.
This was a tailwind when I came through, so
Yeah.
kind of pushing those discs over to that left side. That's a really good shot from Emily.
Yeah.
But I like, this course is great because there's so much risk reward. Like you see people take a little off just to make sure they're in bounds or end up a little more right. And you can still birdie from over there. It's just a tougher second shot.
Yeah, it seems like usually the mistakes are on you out here.
Yeah, it feels very fair. Ella in a good spot. And Holyn, I think, taking just a hint off, even though she's like the farthest. Just look really smooth. No one getting crazy aggressive, but those are all fantastic drives.
Yeah.
We've seen, I hope we get to see it later in the weekend. Occasionally people will really unleash on this one, and you'll see like 80 feet farther than that over to the left. And Cadence going to do this same backhand. Wow.
What?
It's so cool. Kind of classic to get caught up on that corner, though. It's better to push deep than get caught on the early corner.
Yes. Lots of people hitting early right, and then you're just scrambling. Ella gets to the mouth. I think this should be circle's edge.
Yeah, I think that last bush on the corner is like right at circle 2.
Mm-hmm.
Emily showing us her forehand here.
Doesn't get a skip, but she'll putt.
Holyn with some good speed on this one.
Lovely.
Perfect. Holyn looking pretty relaxed out here, even with a couple bogey strokes. Solid run from Cadence for birdie. Emily from about 40 for her birdie. Nope. Ella just a couple inches outside the circle.
Yeah, it's hard to park this up
It
shot.
is, yeah.
But, I mean, Holyn kind of did.
She did. She was able to throw a slower speed.
Lots of spin.
On the second shot, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that deep corner really catches most shots.
This hole did play under par, though. It played a 3.9.
Nice. I'm surprised that this one did and the last one didn't, you know?
I think
this one should, though.
Yeah, there's just a lot of pars, not a lot of worse than pars, but 24% birdies.
In our field, it's kind of a smaller field. We got some people already going over to Europe, playing over there. So I think our field was only 43?
41.
I think, yeah, a couple drops, so 41 now. Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, especially after U.S. Women's.
Yeah, 78 there, I believe.
Yeah.
Kat Merch still leading the charge, as she does, probably in a flamboyant outfit. Hole 7, a fun uphill par 3, 250 feet. It is hazard all outside these logs, so you definitely want to land inside the wood chips. It's a very fair landing zone. I think one of the difficulties is that the tee pad is facing straight at the pin, and it kind of makes you throw right at it, and then you end up hyzering out too far left. So you kind of want to aim right and let it drift towards the pin. It can be a little bit difficult putting. It's slightly elevated on some bricks. I like that the tee signs are including the elevation here. Ooh, Holyn,
yeah, that's a nice
pulling it.
The hazard.
So this one was 23 feet of elevation gain in the entire flight. So throwing pretty uphill. It's probably almost 300 feet of power to park the hole.
Yeah, and then you have to be careful about the wind read as well.
True.
Looks like there was like a left or right, and I think those hyzers are going to get pushed down and carried right with the wind. So
Yeah,
They won't hyzer as much as you think.
Yeah, you needed kind of a spikier shot today than I think in practice. A little bit different wind.
Let's see if that can fight out. Yeah.
Emily going to be outside the circle, but putting for birdie. Cadence and Ella are going to be, or Holyn, excuse me, are going to be in that hazard. I like the height and spike. Ella in there safe. No one parked though.
No.
This was a good change. I believe they made it last year. We used to play it as kind of a boring par 3.
No hazard or?
Yeah, it was like hazard for the guys, but not for us from the long tee.
Okay.
So I think this is a much better hole. Holyn with a great bid there to try to save her par. Cadence, same thing. Looking at her first bogey of the round with that hazard stroke. This hole also averaging under par. That's nice.
Yeah, there was a good spread. A lot of birdies, actually.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Emily's one of them.
Great conversion. Yeah, this is kind of one of the few left on the whole course that you're like, I should really have a birdie look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Being only 250. Still plenty tricky, though.
Which island hole do you find harder, this one or the water one?
Oh, the water one for sure. Nice conversion from Ella.
Yeah.
I think because the water one kind of forces you to throw more of a straight shot. Like the trees don't let you just throw a hyzer, which is what I want to do, and I can do it here.
That's true.
2 birds, 2 bogues.
Yeah.
Some nice putting from Ella and Emily on that one.
They're both outside the circle, just barely. Merch to 4 down.
Merchinator.
Let's go.
Getting it done.
All right. Moving on to hole number 8. It's a wonderful downhill par 3, 420 feet with OB long and left. What you see a lot is people overturning it and laying in the rough on the right, and you don't want to do that. You just want to throw it to these trees or to the basket even maybe.
Some danger though down there with that OB.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's
deep left.
Scares some people out of throwing a distance driver for sure. But it is a far hole, so not too much wind today, which is nice. Oh, there's the outfit you were wondering about. Oh,
pretty
Kat.
tame.
Oh.
And Kat not super happy with that. It's actually, I'm not sure where the OB line really starts over there, but she is safe.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. It, like hit chains after it was already in. What a crazy noise.
It's one way to do it.
All right, she's going to move to 5 down with that putt. Amazing save after not the best drive. This wind was confusing. I thought it was kind of a head, like left to right, head. I don't know. It just felt like it was swirly.
Trying to think back here. I think it was a left to right tail, for me at least.
Yeah, just this one, I don't know. It's just hard to read.
Looks good.
The green is nice and protected, which is great. Ella, beautiful shot.
Should be in the circle there.
Yeah, let's see that again. She is going with her swirly S-line MD4.
Stable mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good play, is throw something stable at that right side and know that it's going to hyzer out. It's a bit wind resistant to that kind of play.
Yeah, so cool to be able to throw a mid there. Let's see. Oh, let's see how downhill it is with these newfangled. Ooh, pretty. This one, you lose 31 feet of elevation. So definitely, obviously reachable even at 420. How much power do you think you need to get there?
Like how far?
Yeah.
I would say like 350.
Yeah, 350.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
ooh, sit.
It's the base.
Sit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's such
That's
a
OB?
bad break. Yeah. This is one of the most dangerous greens actually on the course, particularly if you're putting back at it. You see a lot of rollaways, but man, that deserves to be a birdie. It didn't even hit that hard.
It just took out from there. Took off.
And man, that's going to be a difficult putt for par. What a bad break.
Yeah, I actually didn't find it scary, but I guess now.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit basket in a practice round, right? I mean, if you miss, that's OB for days. And a tough putt coming back. And some of these circle twos can be pretty dangerous to run as well. Yeah, commentary will give you the fear, man.
No.
Look at the consequences.
That was a spooky thing to see. Spooky. Okay.
Oh,
Saves her par.
Sick. Okay, no, it's not scary.
No.
No.
It's an easy par play.
Uh-huh.
Hit the base, roll OB.
That's a great save.
Make your putt.
Holyn with a pretty colorful scorecard here. Gonna squeak that in to get back to even par. Ella for birdie. Some branches in her way. Not quite able to get enough power to get it up and over the basket.
This hole actually played under par as well.
Oh wow, 3 in a row.
2.88.
And 5 holes played under par, so 3 in a row. This is where you got to score, I suppose. Kind of a nice stretch at the back of the front 9. Try to get some birdies.
Yep.
And pretty tight scores on our feature card here. And in the whole field. I mean, 1 stroke is the difference at like 10 places, it looks like.
Yeah, nice depth.
Hole 9, kind of a funny one. Very, very uphill. You just have to throw so nose up, and the tee pad's so close to the hill, so it's really hard to get distance to get a putt at this 290-foot hole. They've also tightened the OB a lot, particularly on the left side, so you used to see a lot of kind of bailout hyzers. A good shot will get you into circle 2. It's an exceedingly difficult one to get all the way inside the circle, where this shorter basket. This is one of those, I swear, every year I come back and it's just a little narrower. Like, when's it going to just be a runway up to the pin, you know?
Yeah.
When are they going to stop?
Just a little path.
Yeah. How much is too much?
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
It is. And Ellie with some elite power, you can see just barely, not even to circle 2, but what a nice floaty putt.
That's amazing.
It is, and that's for a turkey.
Wow. Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of birdies here.
Mm-mm.
It's one of those risk rewards. Yeah, you power up on the tee and then gets a little squirrely. So
yeah, there's only ever maybe like 1 to 3 a day on this one, and it's a little harder now. It is 38 feet of elevation gain. And that's not even the main difficulty. It's just the nose up aspect of it. Holyn with a fantastic shot there. She's in the circle, right?
Yes.
Amazing.
Well, it's also tough because the beginning is really steep, so
Yeah.
you have to throw more uphill than if it was just like a gradual slope to the basket.
I think that's such a good way to get some forward progression, just barely crest the hill. But Emily's still going to be outside circle 2, pretty typical landing zone.
Emily going bigger.
Oh, yeah.
That hyzer's back in. Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Never a doubt. That's in the circle, too, I think.
Yeah, it is. But really pushing that right side to get there. Very aggressive play. And it pays off. Cadence just barely cresting the hill. And that was a nice floaty one. Love to see it. She made that look a lot easier than it is. Cadence also outside circle 2. Good run.
Yeah, I mean, everyone landing in pretty good spots on this hole. I mean, it is easy to go OB, Despite
It
the
is.
fact that everyone here landed great in the fairway. Oh, okay, that was for birdie from Holyn.
Holyn, I think maybe just a teeny bit outside the circle.
Okay.
Ella, the only one at least marked down to land inside the circle. 10 competitors landed in circle 2.
Wow.
Ella, one of 2 birdies, and we saw Ellie get the other one.
Yeah, I played a 3.27 stroke average for this hole, so well over par. Kind of what you'd expect to with the.
Yeah, it's fine. I'd like it to be about 15 feet shorter. I think we'd get a lot more birdies. But it's not a bad hole. I mean, I generally do like this course. They keep making it harder and harder, but I still thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's really great, and they do a great job with the maintenance and the coursework and all of that. Captain Murch, 5 down through 9, 3 strokes ahead of Ellie Middling and Rebecca Dawn, and got a whole slew at 1 under. Still lots more to play. Soph, do you think the back 9 is harder, easier?
It's hard to say. The last couple holes are pretty tricky. You get some big numbers out there, so I think there's some good action coming our way.
Or bad action, but action nonetheless.
Exciting
for sure.
action.
Yes, exciting. Well, thank you for joining us on the front 9. We do have 9 more holes, because that's how it works. You should probably know how it works. If you're brand new, that's how it works. So we will see you on the back. We are very close to 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, so help us get there and just keep bringing you more content. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Sofia Donnecke.
And we're some kind of geese.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.